Would you please welcome Dr. Jane Goodall? Well, on the subject of greeting, now you promised us before we started talking that you would show us a chimp.
I will. Are we allowed to stand up?
Well, I guess.
Oh, come on then. You and I will stand up.
Okay, absolutely.
Can we follow this?
No.
Yes.
You're the male chimp, so you're dominant.
Oh, that's the first time anyone said that about me.
So you're big and strong.
Oh my
right.
God, this is the best episode.
Come
Okay,
on,
sorry,
just
yes.
Come on,
Okay.
be serious.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, big and strong.
Yep.
And I'm a little nervous, so I come up making the submissive sound. But you actually like me, so you pat my head, and that reassures me. So I go.
Oh.
Do I get to hug you back?
You can, yes.
That was amazing.
So that's how chimps greet each other?
Yes.
Oh,
That's also how
gorgeous.
we're going to great each other now after that. That was the most beautiful experience of my life.
I'll do it for you two after the show.
And you're not patting my head.
No.
What happens if he doesn't like you in that moment?
Oh, yeah.
Then he will probably threaten me. And I will be nervous and go away.
You get the message and then
I'll
go.
get the message very quickly.
Well, we've heard something already, which is what's always great when we have you on the show. By the way, happy 90th birthday for April.
Thank you.
Extraordinary. Did you imagine when you were 90 you'd be buzzing around the world doing live events and being on panel shows like this?
I was afraid. It was bigger than my JGI institutes. There are 25 of them, and they were planning this. I'm going to have my birthday celebrated for the whole year.
Great.
From 3rd of April this year,
Wow.
3rd next, and everyone celebrates except me.
You're allowed to.
It's jolly hard work.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You're all about hope these days, which I think is a lovely message. What do we have, like, I guess everyone, have to be hopeful for?
Well, we have to be hopeful for the fact that we do have the tools to slow down climate change. We know how we can start protecting biodiversity. But do we have the will? So if we have the will and we get together and we take action, that means every individual, like every day, you pick up a bit of trash, you turn lights off, collectively, cumulatively, that makes a huge difference. But we've got to act now.
You've seen a huge growth in female primatologists. You've inspired so many people. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is to me. I always think, what's happened to me is very strange, and it's as though there are two Janes. There's one talking to you, just me, fooling around, and then there's one that's become a sort of icon, and it's really tough work for me to keep up with that icon.
Is there a lesson that you've learned about life and relationships from being in close proximity with chimpanzees all your life?
Yes, that we've been very, very arrogant. And back in the early 60s, I was actually told at Cambridge University that we were separate from the rest of the animal kingdom. There was an unbroken line, a line that couldn't be broken. And because the chimps are so like us, not only in behaviour, kissing, embracing, holding hands, patting, swaggering, having war, but having love as well. And because they're so like us biologically, like we share 98.6% of DNA, then that broke that line. And that opened the door for people to study the intelligence and personalities and emotions of other animals. Like, most recently, the octopus, my octopus teacher.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
We're still learning so much about chimps. I was reading last year that apparently they've found out they use military tactics, similar to kind of how we would. Where could they end up in an evolutionary sense? Like,
are you asking if they're going to invade us?
Should we be worried?
Well, yeah, like I've seen Planet of the Apes. Where are we here?
I think we probably won't see chimps evolve anymore because so much of their habitat is gone. How they might have evolved, I don't think we'll ever know. But, where they are now, they're probably in the same state as we are. We're not really evolving much.
Yeah.
We're kind of, we've got the intellect. That's the biggest difference between us and chimps.
Yeah.
But we haven't used it wisely. We know this is the only habitable planet for the foreseeable future, and yet we're happily destroying it. So what's the point of this intellect? Thank goodness we're beginning to use it, renewable energy and capturing carbon and working on rewilding their various areas. And in Australia, in Australia, there's so much protection of endangered species, but there's so much work to do to protect environments across the country.
Jane, of all of your many achievements, what are you proudest of?
Probably A, breaking that sharp line between us and the chimps, and B, starting our program for youth, the Roots and Shoots program. It's growing fast across Australia. It's part of the programs of the Jane Goodall Institute. There are 25 institutes, but Roots and Shoots is now in 70 countries.
Wow.
All ages, preschool through university.
Wow.
Incredible.
Great program and a great name, by the way, Roots and Shoots.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to grow. It has to grow with a name like that. You can find out more about the great work that the Jane Goodall Institute does here in Australia on our website. In the meantime, would you please thank the wonderful Dr. Jane Goodall?
And that is it for tonight.